Today I'm in my Hexy factory, I guess you'd call it. My favorite handwork while I'm watching TV is to make these Hexy flowers. And some of them I use with my flower hug quilts, and some of them I can put just on a quilt. But I have to have them ready so that when I sit down to watch TV, I can get that little box over there and I can grab, in that box I will have a bunch of pieces all together like this, and then I can start sewing them. Each of these Hexies has a dark center, a lighter inner 6, and then 12 that are usually darker. I'm not sure those are darker, but here is another example. So you have to get them ready beforehand, or you're not going to be happy when you sit down and there's none there, and I'm getting to that point. I only have a couple left. So what I do is, the first thing I do is I gather together a bunch of fabrics to use for the Hexies. Here are some that I put together yesterday. I always get a dark and a light. Sometimes they are the same fabric. Sometimes I will use like a yellow with an orange or whatever I like. And always I take some black fabric and cut a bunch of centers. There's my centers. So when I found my fabrics, the first thing I do is I press them on the ironing board. All I'm going to need is a limited amount of the Hexies. But sometimes, you know, if your fabric's like mine, you have different sizes, different pieces. So I have to kind of work with what I have. Let me show you how I cut them. Okay, here I'm at my cutting board and I'm ready to cut. This is the darkest fabric in this next Hexie. And what I like to use are these little plastic templates, and you can get them at your quilt store. You can also get them at paperpieces.com. This is for a 1-inch finished Hexie. It has 3/8 inch seam allowed there. I love these, and in order to use them quickly, I cut a strip that's 2.5 inches, because this fabric is, I've already folded it, pressed it, and I'm going to cut a strip there, and then I'm going to flip it around and cut 5 inches, and then I'm going to cut a 2.5 inch strip. So this is 2.5, and this will give me a 2.5 here and a 2.5 here. Then I'm going to lay them together and stick them onto a mat. I like this mat because I can flip it around easily. If you have a revolving mat, that's the best to use, or it's easiest. And you lay your little plastic template on top, and I just got there. Now I'm having to press. My rotary cutter has not been terribly lovely lately, but I'm pushing hard, and I'm going to do the same here, here, see? And that will give me 4. So then I'm going to do this 2 more times, because 3 times 4 makes 12. The darker color needs 12. This will be my lighter color. And I'm going to have to do a little finagling here. I think I can get 1 here, 2, I don't know, maybe even 3. But then I'm going to have to get another piece. Once in a while, let me say you need 6 of these. So you don't need as much of the lighter color. 6 of the light, 12 of the dark, and 1 of the black. And if you're really have some neat fabrics that you want to try, you can do some fussy cutting. here is some fussy cut pieces. This is a fabric that I don't have very much of it, so I didn't want to use it all up. But I think it's going to fit together like this, so every other one will be a circle, and then there will be a rectangle. So it should be kind of nice when it gets done. But if you're doing fussy cutting things, I put a dot in the middle of my hexy plastic, and then I lay it down on the fabric and make sure that it's going to fit just nicely. So on this, I put it on the dot. On this one, I think I put it in the middle of that. I guess that's a hexie too. Well, no, that's a parallelogram. But the hexie, or this clear template, is really good for specialized. If you want to do some fancy cutting on your inside hexies, you can do it with this. So I'm hoping to get about 10 or 12 little packages made up, and then I will have them ready the next time I'm ready to sit down. I can pick one and sew it together. Here are some packages that are ready to sew, and you also need to make sure that you have plenty of your 1-inch hexie papers. These cardboard papers can be used and reused and reused. So I just put a pile of them in a bag and pull from that.